Hello everyone. I thought I'd talk to you again about screens and vision and children. Okay, so if you've seen my wonderful interview that I did with Philly J. Lay on her podcast, you'll see that I'm talking about how insufficiencies in the muscles and the nerves, so if they're not strong enough to function optimally, then you're going to have dyslexia symptoms. So I'm going to run through that again, and then I'm going to talk about that in relation to screens. Okay, so if you recall from many of my other videos and that podcast, that if we can't tracking is when we hold our head still and we follow a moving object wherever this moving object goes. And that's really important because that skill alone enables us, for example, to look at the board if we're at school, read along, jump down to the next line, carry on. It enables us to come back here to our page, read along and jump down to the next line. So that's tracking. That's how important tracking is. So, and those are controlled by the third, fourth and sixth cranial nerves. So you can imagine that if your third, fourth and sixth cranial nerves are not functioning correctly, then that's going to, just that one thing alone is going to affect your classroom experience. What it also involves is looking to the distance and looking close, distance and close. Okay, so those skills are needed in the classroom. They're needed if we're on the sports field. Say we're running down a field and someone's chucking a ball at us, we have to catch this ball. That is a very technical thing to do, and all of the things in our brain need to be working correctly for us to do it. So it's important. Also, if our pupils are too big and they're not contracting down, there's too much light coming in, and that's going to give us symptoms like snow blindness and dazzle. So the intelligent thing to do would be to seek out dark spaces, black spaces, and like hiding in the dark. That's what a lot of children do whose pupils are too big, and it's because the light is painful. Are you aware that symptoms with your nerves can be painful? I'm very sensitive to noise, and I always carry earplugs with me because noise can hurt, especially sudden noise like screaming, sudden screaming. Like we were out down the pub last night and there was a group of people celebrating on the table next door, and all this sudden laughter, I was having to cover my ears up. I'm that sensitive. But so if there's too much light coming into your eyes, that can cause pain too. So we want to avoid that. So pupil contraction is really, really important. By the way, everything I'm talking about here, I address in my neurodevelopment programs that children come to me for, or indeed adults. So that's two things. The other thing is if our eyes are not yoked, that means if they're not working together. So if I hold up this and I can easily touch the top, my eyes are well yoked. But if your eyes are not well yoked, you don't have depth perception. That can be a problem too. And of course then light contrast. We're not going to talk about Irlen syndrome specifically in this video because I wanted to keep it more about the other functional issues that we get with eyes and screens. So when I was a kid, I was always out riding my bike, doing gymnastics in the garden, running around, playing tennis out on the road because it was a different world then. You could do that, no cars. Playing ball games up against the wall, all of that. Very, very physical childhood I had. I was very sporty. In fact, did I have how many records? I think I had like 3 or 4 school records. I can't remember now. 100 meters backstroke, high jump and long jump. Yes, that's 4. Maybe there were more. Anyway, so I was very sporty when I was young. So it's physical, out there doing all the time. Now, contrast that with what's happening nowadays to a lot of our babies and children. They get screens. So what does a screen do? A screen is going to fix your vision at a specific focal length. So here, so let's hold up my pack of fake nails, which I need to put on. So if I'm looking here, then and for hours, say watching a movie or playing games, then my eyes are going to get kind of, they're not getting the exercise they need. Okay, we're not getting the head movement that we get when we're tumbling around outside doing sports and things. Head movement is really, really important for our brain development, and if we're sitting rigidly, it's really not good. So there are loads of reasons why coming off screens or reducing screen time. I'm not against it. This is the modern times, we have technology, but it does need to be balanced with a good outdoorsy, sporty life, or getting your exercise so that your vision can develop fully and properly, and you can get the most out of your existence here on planet Earth. So that's just a little bit of an insight into why movement is so important. Any movement's good. Any movement. And there's a graph that I put in. I think it's definitely in Brain in a Jar. I'm not sure if it's in any of my other books, but it's a chart showing what exercise in general does and which ones are really good for your brain. So obviously neurodevelopment programs such as I teach and do are the optimum because they're tailor-made. You can really target specific areas of the brain with exercise. Second to that would be things like Tai Chi and dancing. Where they miss out is there's no floor contact. Floor contact's good because it's touching skin and getting involved with that. But Tai Chi and dancing are good because it's turning the head and things like that. So the less movement there is in an exercise regarding your whole body movement, it'll still be good for you, but it won't be targeting specific areas of your brain. So I just wanted to do this little quick video here for you today to just fill you in on why movement is so crucial for our brain and why screens are not so good. But I'm not saying cut them out. I'm not, let's just live life and have a good time. But let's get the best out of it. And that's what my goal is to make life easier for you out there. And if you're having any symptoms, do drop me a line. I'm going to post this on YouTube and I should probably follow it up as well on Instagram. So contact me there, suecookbrainbars.co.uk, 3 Zs. And I'll catch up with you soon. Lots of love.